So, you haven't heard much from Jesse Spec recently. That is true, and I'm sorry for that. Things have been really busy, but I finally found some time again to prepare some cool content. So today we're going to dive into the 5 new wheels I'm going to be installing onto my Chaser. So without further ado, join me and let's dive right into it. Alright guys, welcome back to the Chaser. Long time we haven't been in this car and boy did I miss it. First wheel that will change is, boom, the steering wheel. So this is, I've switched basically from an RD 35 centimeter ones to the 33 centimeter one. As you can see with the beautiful deep corn and perforated leather and red stitching steering wheel by Nardi. I simply love those steering wheels. For me, it's almost impossible to get away from that brand. As you can see here, a little comparison between the 35 and the 33 centimeter ones. And also you can see how the leather ages over time, so it becomes really shiny. Initially, it was actually matte colored as well, like this one. So if you can compare over time, this is what it looks like. So I do think these steering wheels do need some protective care and probably some things to make sure the leather doesn't become shiny too quickly. As you can see, by putting a smaller steering wheel, I actually get closer to the blinkers and the windshield wiper activator, so that's good. You can see that that steering wheel, even though it's a bit further forward, actually allows me still to do heel and toe. So that is definitely a major win. Another small thing I wanted to touch upon is my friend David from Garage Unity changed my windshield, which I'm very stoked about, and so is Spiky that had to celebrate in the trunk of my car. So before we go into modifying my Chaser, take a look at my previous wheels. So those are Maverick 709M in the beautiful samurai gold color. And to be honest, laws and everything and rules have become much stricter in Switzerland. So I was going after something a little bit more discreet, and the gold basically was a bit too flashy, and also the police and everybody unwanted attention was getting worse and worse. So I wanted something a little bit more discreet. So anyway, let's enjoy these beautiful Mavericks. By the way, in front it's 18 by 8. And in the rear I have 18 by 9.5, and I have 225 tires front and rear. This is maybe not a good example because I had to change the tires for when I went drifting, but in front basically I was running 225s. You can see I have the beautiful D-Max front fenders as well, and here you see the rear wheel. And I have a lot of space due to the fact that I'm running slightly stretched tires. You can also note that I have thick cell slotted brakes front and rear, and I guess it's time to say goodbye to this look. Let's install some new wheels. Now let's take a look a little bit closer to what these wheels look like. So in front, I'm gonna have 9s, but in the rear, I'm gonna have 18 by 9.5 offset 38. And as you can tell by comparing both wheels one next to the other, the fronts are slightly less concave than in the rear. This glossy black look really looks amazing. As you can see, 18:9, offset 35 in front. That is really gonna look amazing. As you can see here, this is the rear wheel, and if you, a very nice touch that you have on the RN55 is that actually the logo is machined into the wheel. So as you can see, these have some very refined spokes. And let's head on over to the tires of choice this time. So this is the brand new Yokohama Advanced Sport V107 in 225/40 R18. And I'm actually going to use that in front and in rear. On the 9.5s in the rear, it will be slightly more stretched than in the front. So I can tell already that the compound is slightly different than the regular V105s that I used to have. So I cannot wait to see how they're going to perform on the street. So let's get started, install the wheels. So as you can see, always I screw the valve in first. Those are metal valves provided with the wheels. And then I balance everything. So here, this gives you a good idea on a 9-inch wheel how a 225 will look. And now let's head on over to the 9.5 rear wheel that you can see here that is considerably wider. So I'm just installing the valve quickly, removing the insert, adjusting my machine, soaping up the tire, and installing the tire. As you can see, it's a pretty easy process with the third arm. Okay, I understand. Enough tire installing and balancing. I thought I'd show you just one front wheel and one rear wheel. I'll spare you the other two. So basically, it's always important to get the balance to 0-0. That is what I managed to do, and put the valves and caps back on. So let me show you my new setup for 2022. Wedsport RN55 wheels, 18:9 in front and 18:9.5 in the back. What's another new element is the new tire, the Yokohama Advanced Sport V107 that I'll be using. This tire just came out this year, so I'm very thankful to Yokohama, Switzerland for hooking me up for an excellent deal on those tires. And also thank you to Weds Wheels Japan for supporting me as usual in my builds and projects, and as well through my work. So here you can see the gorgeous Wedsport RN55 with very sporty looking concave branches. I really love that. Check the brakes out, also sticking out in the back. And yeah, I definitely love this setup. It really looks amazing. What do you guys think? So this was the previous setup, nice and gold wheels, and this is the new setup. Black wheels, way more discreet, very slick kind of look. Tell me in the comments, what do you prefer? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Peace.